Why don't you tell the people what show this is, Kennedy?
TexAgs Radio.
No.
Presented by Yeti.
No.
Oh, TexAgs Radio Rewind. Presented by
How did you mess that up?
Hi. Hi, Kay. How are you doing?
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. So recently, Kay's too busy for the show. And she's like, I want to do the rewind. Well,
She walked in here all hot being like, I'm doing the rewind with y'all.
Maybe I just missed y'all and missed my good friends, David and Kennedy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Say hi.
By the way, good job dressing up as Luke.
Thank you. Did you like it?
I did like it.
It was.
Yeah.
What about me?
You were Mr. Worldwide.
Yes.
And I've called you Mrs. Worldwide. Why do you got to make it about you again? We did a lot of you yesterday.
No, because I love making it about me.
Okay, Taylor Swiftie. What did we do on the show today? What was your favorite part of the program?
I always enjoy listening to Johnny Boy.
Johnny Boy? Is that the first thing you could think of? You're like, I'm just going to say Johnny.
No, John Harris. He's a Wednesday staple.
And you have to transcribe it?
I do not transcribe John
lucky
Harris.
for you.
She got out of that a long time ago. But
What was your favorite part of the show you didn't listen
Peter
to?
Burns is always a good interview.
Yeah.
And Schlossnagle coming in here talking to my
That was nice.
Schloss was
always
cool.
good.
We had Ronnie, too.
Yeah, Brauny also.
And OB.
Kicking off the morning.
OB on Monster Energy.
Yeah, that
A
was
burrito
something.
too, apparently. Apparently he nailed down a burrito out there and then slammed a Monster Energy drink and then walked in the studio.
That is a walking heart attack ready to happen.
I will say I am rooting for the Rangers tonight just so we can see the aftermath that is OB tomorrow morning. So
I'm not. Sorry.
I don't have an opinion. It's the TexAgs Rewind. Check it. This next game I'm super intrigued by because Georgia has not played many good teams this year. This is a good one. Their next 3 games are going to be pretty tough. Talk to me about Missouri at Georgia.
You know, there's the old saying, offense wins games, defense wins championships.
Sure.
I think this is the game that's going to kind of reinforce that. Offense, Missouri, they can move the ball. They can throw it. They can get up, downfield. But Georgia, that defense is only giving up 14.8 points a game. So can that Missouri offense win a game against Georgia and keep Georgia from winning a championship? I think not.
I think not as well. They're not living the life of Riley.
No, they're not. They're in fact that they might get burnt like that Lincoln Riley brisket.
Yes, I like that.
Which you'll never get at Fargo's.
No, it's the
Not like
opposite of that.
No.
What's the next one, OB?
Kansas State, number 25 as of Monday.
Yep.
Against Texas.
Nope.
You know, Kansas State, Texas, I think has.
By the way, they're number 23 in the college football playoffs.
Kansas State, though they've had some trouble recently, has a history of success against Texas. And typically, I think it's because they're just a team because they have to be, they're more physical.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's the case this year, but they're clearly a really good team. Texas is kind of up and down. I think that one's wide open. I'd probably lean toward Texas winning in Austin.
Even with backup quarterback?
Yeah, in Austin.
Yeah.
I'd probably lean to, but yeah, with a backup quarterback who played pretty well in their first game. But I think that's going to be a great game. And look, the winner has a great chance of getting to the Big 12 championship game. The loser probably won't.
Does your hunch see Texas getting into the playoff?
No. But if Texas wins out, if you can tell me Texas is going to win out, then I'll say yes, because that win over Alabama
carries weight.
It should.
I want to start with an unexpected visitor that was at the game on Saturday. Or maybe it was expected. It was unexpected to me.
It was unexpected to a lot of people. And Draylon Miller showing back up a week after decommitting from Texas A&M. Look, to me, that only furthers the sentiment that was shared with me whenever he decommitted.
Yeah.
Which is, we love Texas A&M. We love College Station. They're essentially trying to give A&M every chance to come play football here.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought the Aggies did a good job. Started slow, but who had a big day offensively for A&M?
Anaya Smith, which is the position that they've told
There
him.
you go,
Yeah.
David. You're listening when I come in here and give you this information.
50% of the time I listen to 25% of what you say.
Well, that was the 25% of what you heard. That was correct, and that's where I was going with that. It was not only important over the final 3 quarters that A&M showed some kind of pulse offensively, but they showed that pulse through Anaya Smith, which is where Jimbo Fisher and Damian Craig and then area recruiter Bryant Gross-Armiento have told Draylon, like, this is the spot that we want you in. This is the spot you will come in and play immediately, is in that Anaya Smith role. Also, Draylen's a very adept punt returner. So watching Anias make plays and understanding that he's out the door next year, I think definitely helped. I don't know if it's going to be enough. I don't know if A&M could have done anything on Saturday that was going to be enough to get Draylen back in the fold 100% locked in for sure. What I imagine Draylen's going to do now is take his time. Backed away from his commitment. He's not the kind of kid, and that's not the type of family that's going to rush back into something just so they can be back committed. He's such a good player. Anywhere he wants to go is going to take him. They're going to figure out a way, no matter what their receiver or athlete numbers look like, they're going to figure out a way to get him in the class. Like, he's not going to lose his spot. So he can take his time, and he can make sure, and then make sure on top of that.
How did it go? How do you feel about your group this year?
Yeah, I thought it went really well. We started hard there in the end of August, the first couple of weeks of school, and then got into fall practice, and frankly did something that in 35 years of coaching I've never done. We actually shut it down with about 3 or 4 practices left. Not because I feel like we've arrived, but I just feel like after that Houston game on Friday night, anything after that would be kind of anticlimactic. We felt good about our pitching, didn't want to stress those young arms anymore. And at 53 years old, I've learned finally that the best ability is availability. And I didn't think there was any reason to play some fake inter-squad World Series that would put more stress on our players in the month of October. So we've transitioned into some skill work, let some guys work on some things, individual needs, and then really get after it in the weight room. There's a saying, you're only as good as you are strong, right? So, I know you guys get after it in the weight room around here. So it's different forms than others, but
depends on who your lifting partner is in this office. But
Lucci hangs in the weight room. He gets some lifts in, right?
Yeah,
he hangs there,
lifts his jaw back and forth.
He's a talker.
he does. But no. I just feel like, hey, we're going to give our new strength coach 4 or 5 weeks to really get strong for this run that hopefully we can go on. That ends in late June in the middle of. United States.
Let's start with the pitching, because it's something like 7 walks in 28 innings over 2 inter squads. When you hired Max Weiner, obviously you thought there'd be an impact, but did you think that it would kind of take hold that quickly?
I had hopes, surely hope so, and I believe in Max and everything that we're doing. But like Coach Parcells says, the games will tell you who you are.
It feels as if, hey, every single play, there's just this like 0.25 seconds that you can get away with when you're playing inferior opponents. But when you're playing a talented Alabama defense, when you're playing a talented, Ole Miss defense this weekend, I don't know. I think that 0.25 seconds that it seems to move a little slower is a difference maker, right? So, I don't know. I will say this though, and I feel like I've been told negative Nancy on the Aggies. I did like last week, albeit it was against South Carolina. I like the fact that, hey, they went forward on a couple of 4th downs. They tried to score right before half. I even liked the timeout they took right before half, even though they knew they couldn't get the ball back. It was just, hey, the defense was cooking. Like, let them cook and see if something happens. Like, that's the mindset of a coach and a staff that trusts their playmakers to make plays. And I've always held their feet to the fire because I always felt Jimbo didn't trust his players enough and was too conservative, and that hurt the team as an overall.
How much do you enjoy the feud between Lane Kiffin and Jimbo Fisher?
I think it's a little bit. I think Lane doesn't have beef. Lane likes attention, right? Like I don't think Lane actually truly hates somebody or whatever. I think Lane just likes to poke the bear a little bit because it gets him trending. But I will say this about Lane, because I've ripped Lane to shreds over the last decade, ever since he acted, I thought, like a petulant child when he left Alabama in the middle of the national championship run. I noticed the way Lane coached against Auburn that made me think he had finally grown up, because he wanted that Auburn job badly, and Auburn didn't give it to him. And so, he could have made this a whole spectacle, a circus about him going down to Auburn and what it was like, but he was really quiet about it.
Now we have a clarification from Kennedy Kevin here as we exit the show.
Okay, at the beginning of the rewind, when I said I'm not, I agree with David. I'm like, I just don't care if my team's not in it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
My team's not in it. I don't care either way. Go Rangers, go Diamondbacks, whoever. I don't care.
It's
whatever happens.
Nags. I don't know. Have they ever called you Nags?
No. Luch calls me Nagali. That's been the recent.
And I'm called Kavage.
Kavage. I'm thinking of what that could be, but okay.
I don't know.
Tell the people what to do.
You gotta like, you gotta comment, you gotta subscribe, and you gotta tell us or comment if David's shirt is too tight today.
Yes. Not too tight. And you gotta text into the radio show.
It actually isn't.
It's not.
It's
not horrible.
Okay, can I end the show with this? This is my go-to line when people say it's too tight. Would you tell a fat dude the shirt's too tight?
Yes.
No, you wouldn't.
I would.
You would not tell a fat dude his shirt's too tight.
I would.
No.
Called being honest.
You wouldn't be like, man, that shirt's too tight. You wouldn't do it. I would. No, okay. All right, well, you know what? We're gonna do a little walk.
How rude.
Thanks for watching.